you're late. Are you doing okay? You can. I'm excited.
Originally I'm from Ireland and everywhere in between, because I lived in Asia for 24 years. And I first started teaching ESL in Korea. Two main types of questions in class: display question and a referential question. A display question is the question you already know the answer to before you ask. And a referential question is you don't know the answer before you ask it. Now, in research, evidence suggests that referential questions they activate our higher order thinking skills. Display questions, lower order thinking skills. But yet, in most classrooms, 70% of our questions are display questions. They're our answers, and our students are not allowed to answer. So our classes turn into a charade of sorts. What is the teacher's required answer? That's what happens in many of our classes. We also ask other types of questions, such as comprehension checks, clarification requests, confirmation checks, expressives and rhetorical type of questions. The point is, how many questions do you ask, and what type of questions do you ask? You don't have to do it every day. Record your class, write down all the questions, or bring a friend in. Bring a friend. Don't call a friend. Bring a friend in, and ask your friend, write down every question I ask, and teach as normal. And you do the same for your friend, and take it from there. It takes 2 minutes out of your time, that's all, and it's fascinating. The next aspect of questions, and the last you'll be happy to know of questions, is what happens once you ask a question? Okay, that was 5 seconds of silence. I want to commit suicide as a teacher. Most teachers wait less than 1 minute. You know, what time is it? You wait less than 1 minute. Me, mine is waiting. I'm in next week already. My wait time is horrible. I was introduced to this by Greg, a teacher in Korea. And here's what happened. We have difficulty understanding your pronunciation. Finally, they told her. They couldn't understand a lot of what she was saying in class. Teacher's reaction was interesting. It was actually comforting to read, but because they brought something to my attention that I had not realized, I decided to change my pronunciation. So, asking your students what was class about, what was easy, what was difficult, is a good way of getting them to become reflective learners as well. Writing about practice, the act of writing, and I'm going to make you write in a moment too, the act of writing has a built-in mechanism which is natural. You can see your thoughts on paper. One of the sayings that I love as a writer, I started my reflections in 1983 doing this. How do I know what I think until I see what I say? E.L. Forrester. How do I know what I think until I see what I say? This is the process. If you have never done reflective practice in this room, this is why I left this until last. I ask you, can you look at me? Do you think that I would reflect naturally? Look at me, for God's sake. 1983, I was more sarcastic than I am now, if you can imagine that. So, the world, I hated the world, and it hated me, and it's the same. But it doesn't matter. I started to write. And I followed this. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much. My email is here. Feel free to send me hate mail or whatever. Thank you.